Here on the show. Dr. Peat, you there?
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining again. And for those people who perhaps have not heard of you or heard of your background to speak on these subjects, would you mind giving people an update on your previous history, your academic and research background?
My biology study was, academically at least, was at the University of Oregon, 1968 to 72. Biology and biochemistry, especially reproductive physiology. Since then, I've been just continuing to study primarily with interest in nerve biology, reproductive physiology, and especially aging and how it relates to energy production.
Okay, so I know in the past we've mentioned this, some of your confrontations, as it were, within academia, and you've worked closely within the university institutions and you've got first-hand knowledge of the chain of corruption. Would you describe your experience in detail, this chain of corruption's command base and its strategy, and how this begins at the academic level and travels all the way through to final product and the ideology behind it?
Long before I went to the university, I had been interested in many biological fields, especially radiation poisoning from the various sources, especially atomic bomb testing in the atmosphere. And as I got interested in the late 40s and all through the 50s in reading about what was available before the atomic bomb took over the field, and then after the government and its Atomic Energy Commission began controlling the publication, I saw that anyone basically after sometime in the 1950s, anyone who was working in biology or radiation physics who told the truth had a big campaign organized against the person. One of the first researchers who studied the harmful effects of radiation and got it into the media found that X-raying pregnant women caused the fetus to be genetically injured in a way that increased the rate of cancer in children. And it took about 10 years for that to be somewhat recognized and decreased the radiation exposure of pregnant women. But the government was essentially censoring everything that was published and ruining the careers of all of the researchers who spoke out against the dangers of radiation. My main concern with an apparently very bright and competent biologist and physicist who was speaking the government line was John Goffman. I considered him the ultimate in corrupt mouthpiecing for the government all through the 50s. And in the 60s, suddenly he described the event. He said he was talking to a group, speaking the government line, saying that we can't intervene to stop the bomb tests and exposing the public because we don't know yet whether these radiation exposures will cause serious or lethal mutations that might even kill the whole population from cancer at some point. He said as he was speaking, he realized that he was saying insane things, but he had been saying them for 15, 20 years at that point. But suddenly, when that dawned on him that he was saying criminally insane things, he suddenly switched sides and began honest investigation of the effects of radiation on the organism. Immediately, his research money was cut off. He was fired and went into private publicizing of the problems. For the rest of his life, he did very good work exposing the crookedness all the way back to the way that the radiation exposure to the atomic bomb survivors in Japan, the figures on that were completely falsified right down to recent years. The fake data has been put into the journals prominently. And one of the ways that they operate is, for example, the radiation health journals that supposedly are scientists watching out for the public safety in exposing them to medical X-rays or nuclear power plant leakage exposure and so on. These journals, all of them that I have known of, were basically owned by the nuclear industry. Right. The public health organizations that are concerned with protecting the public, these are agencies of the industry. Government, nuclear industry work together to control the publication of safety information. When I was in graduate school, our lab working on reproductive physiology, the director decided we should have a course in radiation safety in case someone was going to work on isotope studies. Okay. And so the whole lab went over to Oregon State University, where they had a full-time radiation safety expert. And he and his graduate students did presentations on what we should know about radiation dangers and safety. And I have never seen a university operate at such a low level as that radiation lab did at the state university. It's considered it's a land-grant university, and the biology department is heavily influenced by agriculture, chemistry, herbicides, insecticides, and so on. But apparently the nuclear industry got to them too.
So maybe he wasn't being so safe with it, making it out to be a fairly harmless substance, perhaps that you shouldn't all worry about too much, or
basically, taking the line that there's a threshold below which it's totally safe or even beneficial.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't actually eat some in front of you just to show you how harmless it was.
One of their main lines of argument is that it's in those small doses. It's supposed to be good for you. The Atomic Energy Commission called their project Project Sunshine.
That sounds nice, doesn't it?